In Christianity, you must be informed before you succeed. In Christianity, you must be informed before you succeed. In Christianity, you must be informed before you succeed. We are having prayer time. And you cannot just pray to have results until you are enlightened Christian. When you don't have light, God cannot give you light in life. So some people pray and they pray amiss. James, the book of James says so. They pray amiss. But some also pray and they get results. So I want to teach you how to always get results. So today, I'm speaking, instead of continuing with the inheritances which you must stop, I'm talking under pray without season. Pray without stopping. That's the word season. Pray endlessly. Pray without season. In other words, don't stop praying. 1 Thessalonians 5:17. That is the topic for today. Pray without season. 1 Thessalonians 5:17. Never stop praying. 1 Thessalonians 5:17 say, pray without season. What is he saying? Don't stop praying. Let prayer be a constant culture. Now the question is, why is he saying don't stop praying? Everybody listen to me. Anytime you read the Bible, there are some statements, there was a reason for which it was said. When you don't get the reason, your statement is out of context. Why is Apostle Paul talking to that church in 1 Thessalonians? He spoke to them about times and seasons. He spoke to them about sudden problems. He spoke to them that they should be awake. He spoke to them that they should not be asleep. He spoke to them that they should be sober in life. He spoke to them that they should be watchful. Then he gets to a point and said, pray without season. Don't stop praying. Why is he saying so? Today is a brief message, but I want somebody to begin to think as I move into it. Pray without season. Somebody will say he said it because family witchcraft is pursuing people. Everybody has something pursuing him or her. He didn't say it because of that. Somebody will say maybe he said it because there are issues in life. Yes. But he didn't say it for that. He said it for three things. Tell somebody three things. There are certain three things. If you don't address it, you will never have answer. So he said, pray. Every time, pray. Why? Pray. When God wants to change a man, there are three things he checks before changing him. That's why not every Christian's life has been changed. The fact that you love God doesn't move him to change you. There are three things. And that's why I say, pray. Saints, pray. Pray without ceasing. Why? If you don't pray, those three things will stop the flow of your change. Number one, write it. If you don't pray, your character will stop the change. If any man stops praying, it simply means his wrong character will be in place and his right character will not be at work. What prayer does is that it takes your focus to God, it takes your attention to God, and a whole lot about you begins to change. Every prayerful person is not a boastful person. Anybody who loves prayer, that person's attention on God is correct, that he is not interested in himself. Because if he was interested in himself, he would never pray. So prayer, number one, is to help you because your character must always be on course. Now let me help you today. So let me just hit 1 Thessalonians 5:14 to 16. First Thessalonians 5:14 to 16. First Thessalonians 5:14. Now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly. That means they are trouble. There are some people, their problem is that they are trouble everywhere. Now, do you know why they are always having trouble everywhere? They don't like prayer. Any prayerful Christian, write this word, is sober. Because after prayer, the person begins to think. Unruly. Everywhere, trouble. Warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble mind. I want to shock you today. When a person prays a lot, God places inside his mind dangerous information. Because he spoke to God, God must speak to him. So anybody who is a prayerful person is not weak-minded. They don't think small things. They don't think about people. They don't think about destroying people. Anytime you see somebody destroying people, that person is not prayerful. Why? After prayer, you are not interested in people. Prayer takes you away from all these things. That's why most often, those who like prayer, you don't see them among people. They are quiet somewhere. Who's listening to me today? So he says, unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, weak-minded. Says, support the weak. Those who are into prayer, they don't mock people. They don't think this person is not needed. This person is common. No. Do you know why? They think like God. Then he says, be patient towards all men. Any prayerful person doesn't have time to be in contention with people. Because if he needed that one, he'll not go to pray. Do you know that the moment you stop praying, you start behaving wrongly? True of us? Anytime a person is not so much into prayer, he's so much into gossip. He's so much into destroying of people. He's so much into speaking against people. He's so much into lying. He's so much into all those things. Do you know why? Prayer stops wrong character. A prayerful husband talks less. A prayerful wife talks less. A prayerful Christian is always building character. You see, you like movie than anything. Do you know why? You don't like praying. Hey, they finish. Nipa mani hunu 1, 2, and 3. He's finished that 1, 2, and 3. Now he's going to the next one. If we are seeing 1, 2, and 3. Because he doesn't have time to pray. So the next thing is that anything that will not give him better life, that's what he's interested in. Two of us, I'm telling you the truth. Prayerful person, he wants to even sleep around 8. Because by highest 1 o'clock, the person is up. But the one who is not prayerful, have you received the latest video, the latest Mr. Beautiful video? What did he say? What is the title? Whilst Mr. Beautiful is praying, but he wants to watch the movie. Aka Ebenezer, Magreheb. Who is listening to me? Anytime a person is into prayer, it blocks his wrong character. I'm telling you the truth. Am I speaking the truth? So, he said, pray constantly because prayer will deal with your wrong character. 2, when you see a person who respects divine authority, it is because he is prayerful. Anybody who prays to God respects head. Anybody undermining authority is a carnal person. Open to your Bible to 1 Thessalonians 5:12. And we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you and are over you in the Lord and admonish you. When a person is into prayer, he respects authority. Why? Because he prays above. He regards any person above him or her. Always check in the church. Those who are fighting with their pastor, they are not soaked in prayer. Prayerful people don't contest with authority. Sometimes after their prayer, they get to know, hey, this one no, this one no, this one no, this one no. Why? After they finish the prayer, heaven begins to speak to them. And so they regard authority. Who is listening to me today? Who is listening to me today? Who is hearing me today? So, 1 Thessalonians 5:12 and 13. And to esteem them very highly in love for their work's sake. And be at peace among yourselves. Prayerful people don't fight anybody, including authority. So, he wants you to pray because the moment you stop praying, character will be affected. Leadership over you will be affected. One day, I remember I was discussing something and a woman was telling me a whole lot. After she finished, I said, you know why you are talking too much as a wife? You don't pray. Good wives pray for their husbands. They don't talk about them. The moment a person begins to talk, that person has left the place of prayer. Now, when Jesus wants to pray, he will leave the disciples and go and hide. Why? Prayerful people are not talkerful people. Is that not good English? Prayerful people, they are not talkerful people. They don't have time to talk. Why? Their concentration is on what will change them. Listen to me. Tonight, something must happen in your life. But except you leave people and go to the place of prayer. Except you work on your character and go to the place of prayer. Even back to character. God will never grant you your request until your character changes. If God makes you rich, your boastful nature will appear. There are some of you, God speaks to me, especially those who are who follow me. I've worked with. I know you. Sometimes I ask God, change this person. God say, take your time. This person, if I change, you see his real nature. And I say, God, why? He said, I'm chastening the person. I want this thing to live his or her life. Now listen to me. When a person is broke, he hides character. True of us. It's when a person is rich, you see the true character. Now, this person is not rich, but he's proud. You should know that when he's rich, he'll be dangerous. So, God will have to, in a way, chasten him because, let me tell you something. People don't know you. Only God knows you. And your change is not from people. Your change is from God. But He knows you very well. And so for Him to change you, He must first change you, your character. And the only thing that will change your character is where you stand in the place of prayer. Is somebody hearing me tonight? God would have changed you long time. But He has checked some things. Say, wait. You are angry. He say, wait. He say, you. Right now you are broke. Look at how angry a person you are. Now when I change you now, and you become somebody, the way you insult people. I want to say something. Write it in your book. God only changes sober persons. Sober. They've gone through things and they are controlled. Sober. And it is only prayer that makes you sober. I was told of a certain wife that the husband was always insulting her, molesting her, and the moment the man starts, the woman will start praying. The man will leave her. One day, the man said, "This is my wife. When I start to do all things against her, she won't talk. She will only be praying. Let me join." The man changed. Why? In where there's prayer, there will be change. Who's hearing what I'm saying today? If it was said an armed robber in Nigeria went to a house to steal. When he got in there, they were praying. And then he pointed a gun to the person. The person was praying. Kelaba, Zekaba. Hey, can't you hear him? Masokata. But he said, "What is that?" The person was still speaking. "I will shoot you." The person was still speaking. They said, "Teach me the language." God would have changed you. But it's easy, it's always easy to leave your place of prayer. And Jesus said, "My house shall be called a house of prayer." Why? Man is constantly in touch with God. So man's wrong character is removed. 2, man who doesn't respect authority by reason of relationship with God will change. And number 3, any person in prayer, it helps him to be constant in actions. Check a man who doubts his future. He has left the place of prayer. When you're a prayerful person, you are sure God will change your life. Because you believe what you have said, He will hear and do it. So see a man asking, will God do it? See a woman asking, look at me, my age, will God do it? God said, it is because you have left communication. Now write this in your book and keep it. Anybody communicating with God should know that He's able to do. Anybody communicating with God, you should know He's able to do. And as long as you know He's able to do, it helps you keep number 3, your constant actions. Constant actions or consistent actions. Any man who likes prayer doesn't lose faith. Because when you pray, you believe. Mark 11, 23 and 24. When you pray, you believe. Mark 11, 23 and to 24. Any man who prays, he believes. You believe. Can I show the other 24? Anybody who prays, therefore I say unto you, whatsoever things ye desire, when ye pray, believe. So any man who lacks faith is not a prayerful person. 2, any man who lacks hope is not a prayerful person. Because if you are a prayerful person, you are sure that your future will happen. Because you can't pray in vain. I repeat, nobody prays in vain. Why? The God we serve is able to do exceeding abundantly above what we ask or think. So tell me a man who is speaking loose, a woman who is speaking loose, the person has left the place of prayer. I've prayed, God has not answered. You have left the place of prayer. When you pray and you lack faith, then you have left the place of prayer. prayerful people, they are consistent. Prayerful people know that after I've prayed, I should add my tithe to it. I should go and pay my tithe. After I've prayed, I should pay my offering. Why? Because they are in constant communication with God. They cherish God. They value God. They revere God. They do what God wants them to do. Why? Because they are in touch with Him. And so they want to do what matters to Him. So anybody who is not prayerful, he will not be a tither. Because the moment he loses communication with source, he will not be interested in any principle again. Who is listening to me today? Who is saying what I'm saying today? So you must be consistent in actions. Anybody who is a prayerful person, you don't tell him to go to church because he's constantly in communication with God. Church is his delight. Because when he gets there, he's going to continue. Sometimes you hear people on radio, Christians are every day praying. Can I say something today? If we were not prayerful, many will be armed robbers. That lady who is in the house of God praying, if not for prayer, she'll be a prostitute. That gentleman who is in the house of God, if not for prayer, he'll be somebody scamming people. Thank God for prayer, because we are connected to the source. We are in communication with the source. So life becomes better. When you have communion with God, your life becomes complete. You see a Christian, he prays for only 5 minutes, I'm tired, but he watches YouTube for 2 hours. You don't have a future. Who's saying what I'm saying? So the moment you leave prayer, your actions doesn't become consistent. You lack faith, you lack hope, you lack everything. You complain a lot, you talk a lot, you gossip a lot. Instead of paying your tithe, instead of believing God, instead of provoking God, you're always talking. Hey, sometimes I sit down and I look at the end time church. I look at all of you and I tell myself, if God should call me now, I won't respond to the call. Some of you, the Christianity you are enjoying, I don't know how you want it. In those days, some of us, where we're following God, it is your interest to be at church. Now we are in days, people are saying, oh, man of God, I'm tired. Today I want to rest. Church has changed, you. The day we are in is like fashion church. I just want to go so that they know I came. But in our days, I remember sometimes, Mama will testify, from where we are to where we are going for service, it's a distance. Broke time. Had only one child, carrying the child. But you are going to the house of God because you believe when you go and come back, something will happen. And that we are in days that trouble come and they say, Daddy didn't call me. Some of us never did it. I remember the day I went to sales, years ago as a businessman. I told you I didn't even call Mama. To call her for what? I was a determined Christian. Relax there. I said I relax there. I met good mouse. Heavy ones. In fact, mouse with flesh. In fact, when they cross, you see, yes, something has crossed. And why was I so resilient? Why? Because we were communicating with God. But in our day, you are communicating with people. Who is standing with me? Who is coming my way? We don't need you, we need God. Because men will surely leave you. Only God is your source. Who is listening to me? And listen to me. If you don't pass prayer test, you will fail life test. If you are not somebody who is constantly in touch with God, people will disappoint you. Because the only person who doesn't disappoint is God. Men are not given the strength to succeed. Only God gives it. Men are limited in life. Only God is limitless. So if your hope is in men and you stop the place of prayer, you lack your future. I want to say something to shock you. Marry a prayerful wife, so that what you can speak about, she will add it up to you for you. Marry a prayerful husband. I'm telling the truth today. The best thing to do on earth is to communicate with your maker. God, this thing must stop. God, this thing must die. God, this thing must go. Who is telling me? So any prayerful person is a tither, is a giver, and you see, let's go. 1 Thessalonians 5. Let's check 1 Thessalonians 5:21. So I want to show you why Apostle Paul told them they should pray without ceasing. Why? If you don't do that, something will go wrong. 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Let me read it from here. He says, prove all things, hold fast that which is good. In other words, a prayerful person is constantly doing what will change his or her life. Communicating with God is not enough, but it makes all things work. Because when a man is in constant touch with God, he's in constant touch with life. I will never make time for my enemies. I will handle them in prayer. And whatever I do in prayer will manifest physical. When you are a prayerful person, you are not a bitterful person. There's nothing inside you that worries you. Why? You have handled your enemy to God in prayer. And listen to me, some of you, it won't take long. Those who are fighting you, they will calm down themselves. Do you know what will happen? The words you have spoken, it will be working. I thought I would hear somebody say, I hear you. So, number one, prayer deals with your wrong characters. 2, prayer helps you to respect authority. And 3, prayer makes you to be consistent in actions. A prayerful person is constantly a smiling person. Why is that Christian brother not smiling? He thinks God will not do it. Why? He has left his place of prayer. He thought I prayed, I didn't see anything. It's a lie. You prayed, you must still pray. Why? You must be consistent in your actions. When you're a prayerful person, you desire to fast. I was talking to someone and said, I remember I went to a place, I'll tell you. I was not one day well. And then I said, no, when I say unwell, let me use my word, fatigued, stressed, tired, because my nights are utilized. So, I was not feeling that strong. And so, I went to a herbal place. When I got there, they said, this one you must eat something and take it. I said, I don't eat in the morning. Then they said, but you must eat something for breakfast. So I said, I don't breakfast. Because if I break fast, I'll eat. Some of you, by 6 o'clock, you are eating. Some of you, by 6, benku. What is that? Prayerful people, they fast. They themselves desire that. And you see, let me tell you why prayerful people fast. Your prayer will let God hear you. Your fasting will let you hear God. Your prayer will let God hear you, because prayer is simply communication. But how do you hear God? It is your fasting. Why? Your spirit is alive. Your flesh is dead. Do you know when David saw that woman? Because he was standing on his tower and saw, what's the name? Bathsheba. Do you know? Because he was out of the place of prayer. Prayer, when somebody is prayerful, The person is fasting for. Yes, today I came to speak better English. Dr. Jimmy, do you know this is Queen's English? I said when you are prayerful, you are fasting for. Do you know why you like so much food? Always eating, looking for food. You are not prayerful. You are eaterful. It won't give you future. Now listen to me and keep this mystery. Future is earned, not given. You go after it. It's earned. It's earned. Otherwise, every Christian would have become decorated. But future, you earn it by the system you put in place. Who's listening to me tonight? Look at someone and tell him, I'm changing my mind. Say it again. Prayerful person will not envy anybody, because he's already praying that God should give him money. So why should he envy you? Because of what you have. Anybody envying somebody, he has left the place of prayer. Comparing yourself to somebody, you have left the place of prayer. Jealous, backbiting, you have left the place of prayer. But when you are communicating with God, you are not jealous about anybody, because your life is not my life. My life is not your life. Your future is not my future. My future is not your future. If I touch God, I'll touch life. I met a man of God. He said, some of us, when we see your life, we're so excited, but some of us are jealous. I said, sir, let me tell you something. If you're a prayerful Christian, you never jealous any man of God. Whatever anybody has, there was a price paid. Pay the same price, enjoy the same results. Nobody on earth do I envy. Nobody. I rather value men, because they are God's prized asset on earth. You are going to go far. But so tell the person by yourself, be prayerful. Say it again, be prayerful. Let me hear your voice. Say, be prayerful. Say it again, be prayerful. Sometimes, most often, I go out with Mr. Beautiful. We are driving here, we are driving there. One day, just get to and ask him. We don't talk in car except on a matter. And a matter will be a matter that is for future. Otherwise, we don't talk. Why? Whilst I'm driving, I am meditating. And I'm speaking quite quietly. Hannah was doing it. She was not understood. Why? In life, you don't have time. So use that small time to be speaking. But some of you have time to gossip 1 hour. You gossip about Sakomono chief. Next one, Sakomono village. Next one, Sakomono churches. Because you are not prayerful, so you have time. Anybody who walks around me, you get to know I don't talk much. If you're somebody who talks much, you make me tired. Why? That particular moment could have been used for prayer. I must tell God something. I want to say something you cannot say to you. If you come on earth and you fail, you are a mistake to the earth. I repeat, if you come on earth and you fail, you are a mistake to the earth. So why don't you avoid being a mistake to the earth by using your time to tell God, God, this particular month, I want you to do this thing for me. This particular day, I want you to turn the atmosphere for me. This particular moment, I want you to do this for me. When you see a Christian fighting always, he's not prayerful. Fighting everybody. Who's listening to me? I remember I saw a pastor. He's always on the social media talking. So I called him one day. I said, sir, you are wrong. Prayerful pastor is not always on the social media. He must sometimes be hiding. Why are you always there? Talking. Today I have wisdom nuggets. Today I have this. I said, no. Don't build your ministry that way. You must be hiding. When you come out, you are loaded. But you, people always see you. No. Who is listening to me? Who is telling me today? Who is listening to me? Who is listening to me? Now, do you know why God doesn't want you to stay with family? Today, let me explain. Keep this word. Because family distracts your prayer life. Keep this mystery. Family. Oh, Ekia. Bra, come. News. So family has everything, whatever they say they've heard to tell you. And it will not take you far. Because family is always familiar with you. Who is listening to me tonight? Who is hearing me tonight? Who is listening to me tonight? Who is hearing me tonight? Who is listening to me tonight? A woman came to tell me that the husband said he wants to be in one room, he wants a woman, and the woman came, what is that? Marriage is for the two, they must be together. I said, together in flesh, but not together in togetherness in terms of doing spiritual things. Because anytime you are distracted, prayer cannot be in place. Jesus will tell them, I am married to you, Peter, James, and John, by reason of, when we say marriage, it's relationship. But when it comes to meet my father, stay away somewhere. You go far. Tell somebody, don't leave your place of prayer. Let me hear you say, don't leave your place of prayer. Say it again, don't leave your place of prayer. Tell him, when you leave, your character will be affected. Tell him, when you leave, your respect of authority will be affected. And when you leave, you'll never be constant in actions. Stand on your feet.